I should rejoin my friends, but I wanted to say hello.
I would stay far away from anything of the your professor friend's family.
Hmm.
At first, we thought that he might be dangerous, and then we spent some time watching him and realized our mistake. It is a good thing that the apple there fell far from the tree.
Is there anything of interest to you in their old belongings if we were to rifle through them?
You notice that Polly has finished her cigarette. She's putting it out, but there is a presence in your mind that is politely like you hear a knock at the door. It's the door of your apartment, the place where you've spent the most amount of time that you called home.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
familiar knock. Like,
I'll open my mind to the thought.
okay, Polly's presence is there. She, you know, it's her, but she's got a different voice in your
I'll
head.
just close my eyes for a moment and take a deep breath to to distract from my being distracted. But yeah, I'm paying attention.
The professor comes from a cursed family.
I'll think to myself, he picked the right place. They picked the right place to live then, didn't they? This whole Pearl feels cursed.
I would not get involved in their business. They once called the professor's grandfather by a name that sends chills down the spines of those learned across the pearls today.
How interesting. Uh, is it a name I know?
Perhaps
Say
this is
it.
perhaps this is your baby step into greater circles, Fareosae. I will share this with you if you do not share
Oh,
where it came from.
I promise.
Some believe that Chalmers is none other than the Necromancer.
Capital T, capital N. Fascinating.
There was a time when many came to that house, the house that is in the slough where they once lived, that an entire cult was around him. Sycophants, dredges, minor necromancers, and ghouls that tried to get a piece of the knowledge that he had. Stay away. The necromancer has snuffed out pearls and is behind many of the evils that have befallen the people of this cluster of pearls and those beyond.
Very nice. Very nice. Ah, I'll head back to reality here.
Okay.
I think we could all use a drink. It's been one of those weeks.
Yes, drinks on me, everyone.
Yeah, there's a cheer from the first time of that seems to get everyone back away from the windows and yeah, the royals are gonna. So some people think you're royal, others kind of know who you are, and you're helping spread the word of the jerks emeritus who are somewhat minor local celebrities or heroes in the slough. They're the slayers of spider.
I get
And
that name right.
Thurgus, you do notice that a lot of people do come over, and while it might be a fleeting camaraderie as people go over and thank the professor for drinks, it might last as long as say the drinks. Um, uh, they do know who the professor is. They know who Fareosae is, And then there's a bunch of whisperings about like what happened to the Elephant Man, and they've got a creen, and like there's a bunch of intrigue in the bar and mystery as they're wondering where the other jerks emeritus are. Ludo and Manny, and you're like, who the fuck's Ludo and Manny? Well, I guess you met
Manny.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I cheer with the drinks, and then like people whisper and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, those people. And then like when there's still no one cheering, I go, and then there's a murder place down here, and like I will proceed to cheer by myself. Long past the time where such things is inappropriate.
Sai and Samson are a bit distracted by like the flood of drinks that they have to pour. Many gallons of this wretched turpentine like shine.
I'll try and see if Sai will hook me up with and like the immediate party with something other than the local swill.
It's your tab. That's what he says, and he goes and finds a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, tabs.
And is the fighting pit still in operation in the?
Yeah, fighting pit.
A friend who's a bit enthusiastic about the sport.
Enthusiastic. It's a big word.
I've got a ton of fucking questions. First, what the fuck is that? And he points at Mokrenom. Second, what the fuck is that? And he points at Thurgus. Third, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah, fucking stuff.
In time.
You do notice people going up and getting, like, Samson's also handling some sort of bet. And you realize the bet has something to do with you guys. There was an actual bet as to whether you guys were dead or alive.
Samson, where did the betting fall? In favor of us being alive or dead?
Lots of people thought you were dead.
And was the house covering that then? The house said we were dead as well?
He looks to Sai. Sai just like, don't. That's the house's business, says Samson.
Fair enough.
You made me some money. That's what Sai says. Bottles on me.
A gentleman at heart. I always knew it, Sai.
The tab, however, is still on you.
Yes, of course. I assume some amount of Zollars will
So, fucking answers to my questions. I'm not used to having to wait.
Well, Sai, you know where we went with Zephyros, who is fine, by the way, to his people in Bastera. And it turned out the plague hit, so we had a little bit of trouble getting back.
Yeah, trains aren't running.
Catch the last train, and then we just kind of laid low and tried to figure out what the, for lack of a better term, fuck is going on around here. Because it seems to be kind of a, for lack of a better term, fuck hole or something.
Yeah, fuck hole.
He looks at Thurgus again. There's a bit of a grin, like a look of puzzlement across his face.
Thurgus here is our new friend. He's in town, and he picked a bad time to come and ran into some very unfriendly folk.
This place is also a brothel, right?
Yep.
After he yells out "fuck all," he looks around and goes, "No pun intended."
It also looks like it's part shelter now. Like it may not be running entirely as a brothel. Like there's a lot of people with a lot of stuff here, like their worldly possessions and little piles at tables, and you do see like families in here where you wouldn't have expected before. It's like during the minor apocalypse, they've bunkered in at this place.
So that answers one of your questions, or two. One for you, Sai. Have you been looking after those orphans I dumped on you? I hope nothing ill has come of them.
Yeah, they're still running around here somewhere.
I hope you haven't pressed them into some of your more lucrative services.
I'm not a fucking monster, is what he says.
Yeah, oh.
They
Splendid. That's good to hear.
even made me a little bit of money, if you think. They
Oh.
seem to be good at running around and stealing things. Who would have thought?
Tiny hands fit into tiny pockets.
Better out there than in here.
Yes, especially now. And now this gentleman to my side is a gobbler. A rather unique creation, most peculiar, and frankly, sir, you wouldn't believe the half of it if I did tell you. I would just say, give him a wide berth and be kind.
Gobbler, huh? Huh.
Yes, Mokrenom, for what now?
Oh, for eating or for keeping?
And for keeping, yes, that's all you need to know, Si.
No. This glass and the drink, is it for eating or for keeping?
The drink is for eating, the glass is neither, and should be left alone if you would like.
Oh, okay. And his lips kind of go around the glass, kind of choke it back, and then put it down. Big tongue licking all the
Nice.
mess up, and he's looking at Mokrenom, still trying to pull his eyes away a little bit, and on this beast.
Thurgus? Well, another traveling companion. Tough times make strange bedfellows, I'm afraid, as I see the bar has now become a bit of shelter for the local community.
Huh.
Yeah, I was like holed up in a shoe place after being tortured by a bunch of alchemists, and now I'm killing my way back to them.
Noted. There are no fucking alchemists here. That's what he says.
Good to know.
But I'll keep my eyes out if I see any.
So far, every alchemist I have ever met has been a terrible person. But I don't think that's necessarily true for all of them everywhere. It's just statistically relevant.
Have you seen them wandering the streets at night, the plague doctors?
Yeah.
No, but we saw like those walking around syringy things.
They travel in numbers down here. Creepy bastards. Never trust anyone in a mask.
Have you seen any of those big flat silver coins? People trying to pay with those?
He nods.
We should have a little chat in your office about those, or some back room.
Okay. He invites you back.
Yeah, that's something that we probably shouldn't talk about in the open for fear of causing a panic. So, yeah.
Who's going back into his office?
Is that what
Yeah.
place is?
Yeah, I definitely will. I love it back there. He's got the good booze back there in his desk.
Yep.
The murder arena?
Buchrabech will stay up with Mokrenom.
Thurgus gets really excited like we're going to the murder arena and then gets really disappointed when it's an office.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, it's this fucking desk.
We're getting there, Thurgus. We're getting there.
It's a nice fucking desk. And he pulls open a drawer and he pulls out a much nicer looking bottle and he starts pouring shots in little glasses. He seems to be quite adept at just sort of like sending the little shot glass across the table without actually holding it, and they end up kind of perfectly in front of you. It's like he's got a lot of practice here. Thurgus, you notice that this man carries or has on a hook on the wall this really intricate, very large crossbow. You think it's a repeating crossbow, a heavy crossbow, and you do see a lot of crossbow bolts in his office here and there.
Well, that's a pretty cool toy you got there.
Not a fucking toy. Yes, I could shoot. I just don't need to a lot of the time. At least not in these walls. It's been a while since I've had to shoot a man where he stands. Or a woman.
So those coins, Sai.
Yeah, I've got a few of them right here.
Don't touch them. Have you checked them for the disease?
Oh, he finds like a knife, a letter opener in his desk, and he kind of flips this coin purse out. Makes a bit of a clink. You saying these are fucking cursed?
Is in a manner of speaking, yes. Yes. They carry the blood veil.
That's fucking why I got sick. I had to pay a fortune to get a damn cleric to come down here, and he's don't go spreading around, but I know a guy.
Oh, don't worry.
He's a bit he's using the knife, and he doesn't like to get attention. I had to pay a lot of money for him to prepare his mumbo jumbo so that he could get rid of the blood veil.
We've gotten a little bit better at talking with the gods ourselves. So if any of your folks have gotten it from the zombies today, put it on our.
Oh,
Yeah, have us take care of it. Let's say.
how much you charging?
Friends help friends.
Yes, you know us, Sai. We deal in favors. Money is but a passing matter. What is it, Fareosae? Just a paper destined to go away?
I'm sure that I could bring you some business. How many people can you cure in a day?
Talk with Buchrabech about this. He's the businessman.
Excellent. He leans back, and that topic of conversation seems to be closed. He doesn't need to go through middlemen if he could talk directly to the source.
Yeah.
You did see gold pieces in his eyes as you were giving him that tidbit of information.
He's got some support from us, and he'll share appropriately.
This might be the time to ply him for what you want.
So, we're interested in a few things regarding these coins, and maybe you've heard some stuff about them.
He's now picking dirt out of his nail with the letter opener. Yeah.
You know where they come from?
What? These?
Yeah.
Through my front door. Everything comes in through there. Well, the back door sometimes.
Sure. But those aren't normal coins. They don't get minted up on the mountain.
No.
Money's money, and you should take money, but
I thought they could have been dwarven, or maybe the giants made them or something.
maybe even older than that. But more recently, they came into town from outside, pre-infected. So they've been spreading around. I'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. He kind of in a startling maneuver, like it was pretty quick, flipped the thing, the knife opener, so it was downwards. He actually chopped into his desk, and then he pulls the bag so it kind of cuts open, and 3 of the coins come out, and he then just drops the coin bag into like a wastebasket. He's looking at the coins.
Yeah, those are the ones. There's probably
He
probably
pushes them over.
700 in circulation. They'll get less powerful over time, and eventually they'll just be coins.
The silver's old. See the patina on it? Really old.
Yeah. I mean, keep them around, but have someone who's got a good eye for disease check them before you start touching them. And if anyone tries to come in and pay with them, there's a good chance they've got it.
What do you guys know about the coins so far? What did I tell? I forget what.
We know that they are they're the melted down religious artifact. They were made from holy symbols for each of the witches killed. They used old melted down artifacts.
Were those the coins or the holy symbols?
The holy symbols,
the holy symbols were melted. Yeah, something like
the
that.
coins, and sort of each one represents a fallen devotee of Hecate's.
Yeah, you're talking about the holy symbols you found, not the coins.
Okay. The coins are they have a lingering necromancy on them.
Yep.
A Hadean phrase with a Titan skull and a praying mantis symbol.
Yep. Hear me, O death, whose empire is unconfined, is the
Yes.
what's written on them.
And the Titan is probably a depiction of a Titan called Thanatos. The coins themselves, that necromancy is lingering, so it's fading over time, and we haven't figured out how quickly it fades.
Okay, he kind of scratches at it a little bit with the thing. That's not a patina. That's some sort of ick.
Ah,
he kind of scratches at it a little bit more.
Well, they were kept inside of a container with other infected items, and picked up the.
No, check that. These are not old. This dirt on it, I thought, was the patina. These coins are relatively new. Look at the edges.
Oh.
They have not been worn down. There are no signs of anyone taking shavings off of them. And
right.
He flips one over and looks at the mantis. He leans back a little bit.
It's a death cult of sorts, isn't it?
You could say that.
Something you've seen before?
Just stories.
We're willing to track down stories at this point. We're also going to want to talk a little bit about the Archiminos family.
You sure jumping around a lot. Cursed coins, necromancy,
and
disease.
A little bit about the let's put it this way, Sai. I trust your discretion, and I know you can put two and two together without teaching everyone math.
Don't know what that is. He points at the Hecate symbol on the coin, but I know what that is. And he points at the mantis thing.
Good. That'll fill in a gap.
You traveled with Kreen for a while. His name was something stupid.
Texarakigat.
Yeah, that's it.
Murder bug to his friends.
Yes.
More apt. And
indeed.
Probably will help you understand this story. And he looks at Thurgus like Thurgus is simple.
Thurgus is just like looking at the floor, kicking his feet. Oh, fuck you, lie. He just starts to talk to himself. Oh, see, death arena. It's a bunch of homeless people.
Isai wants to say something to Thurgus, but he wants to finish his story first. Well, you know about the inherited races, right? They're all amongst us. They've been amongst us for a long time. They came from the gods, yada, yada. Well,
yada, yada.
The story is that some of the gods didn't create nice forms. The Kreen might have come from one of these gods. It's also believed...
Your murderbug friend was like evil or something.
If you've never fought a Kreen, then...
Oh, we've seen his work.
No.
The followers of those gods were not the happy sort. They're the ones that spread pestilence, plague. This symbol is a symbol probably related to their religions. I am not an expert in religions, but I do know what it is that their surviving members do.
What is that?
They are assassins.
Are we going to have to go and find your murderbug and kill him?
No, these are the
No.
Well,
He's one of the good ones.
they might very well still have some Kreen. We do know that they are wandering around. These are the humans that once worshipped the god that made the Kreen. And they worship the god as a giant mantis. And this giant
right.
mantis teaches them how to kill. They venerate the Kreen in these strange, stealthy ways. The mantis is not a organization you want to be well, enemies of. Their enemies tend to disappear.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye out, and we won't drop your name. Let's see. Next up.
Mantis have been at odds with the Patrian sovereignty in the past, as you can imagine. Sovereigns dying at assassins' hands. There have been old stories of a conclave of Mantis being wiped out by the Patrian sovereignty. We're talking decades ago. Something about their Grand Master. I try not to delve into these things, and I wouldn't start saying that name out loud. Their order is old, and fear is one of their weapons.
We'll leave that one for the moment then. The plague doctors, you've seen them crawling about through the slough.
Yes?
Do you know where they gather in the slough? They come down from up above, I assume, but we think they meet people down here and do things that maybe aren't exactly what they say they're doing. We think maybe they have some of these coins. Ooh, try sticking one inside of a dead person or inside of a recent zombie. I'm just curious.
What?
Just give it a try. Down in the pit or something. Let us know.
Ah, the pit.
Oh, we're going to the pit. It's the pit time. It's the time to go to the pit. Oh, we're going to the pit. Oh, make you.
You should be warned that not all the zombies are stupid. There are some that are
We
fucking
fought one.
batshit.
Two. We fought two. When that one dies, look for a coin in its gullet.
It's eaten 3 people already. We got a chain down to the basement. There are bets down there. If you're brave enough to face it. Thurgus just...
He's brave enough to face anything.
I gotta warn you.
Anything. Yeah, Jason stuff.
And I wouldn't bet against him.
The asshole was, well, kind of a murderous prick in life, and his new form has not improved his temperament anymore. He has killed 3 people who I think had a beef with some of the things he did in life and, well, failed
How
to
did he
get
get
there.
that way? Where'd you find him?
Luck.
Wait, so he's intelligent and he's still being an asshole in addition to being undead?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we gotta kill him on principle.
Well, if you wanted him dead, he'd be dead.
Yeah, why are you keeping him around?
He's useful alive to run bets.
We managed to capture him. Zombies aren't immune to nets.
Yeah, but why?
A bit of fun these days. Not a lot of people with everything that's going on are willing to get into the pit to fight each other. Get in the pit to fight one of the zombies? Well...
There you go.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense. I'll buy it.
This one, however, we bring down some of the staggering ones that we can find, but they make a bit of a mess. Not sure it's a good idea. But this one's still down there. No one's No one
That's an avenue for our friend Thurgus to investigate.
Well, we can make a night out of it. You're brave enough to wander in there without your armor and your weapons and use whatever's lying around to fight it.
Can we watch from above and
Sure, everyone would.
give him our blessings?
Yeah, just don't be too loud.
All right.
Am I allowed to invoke my god?
Sure.
Do you need like a week or something to like do a bunch of fight promotions?
2-3 days, we could set it up.
Sounds fantastic.
Would you like to put some money on your man here?
Yes, absolutely. Thurgus, you see, is one of a kind. He is a rare specimen in these parts and is full of a very potent god of battle. Perhaps you've heard of the blood god?
Never heard of him.
Well, I'm sure Thurgus will be able to...
Great big bear, and he's all bloody and he fucks things up.
Yes, blood bear.
Was that thing that I saw outside in the street earlier?
You saw him too. He presented himself to you.
Sure. He glances at Fareosae. A lot of the Fae are known to use illusions, so Sai might be on to whatever.
Hey,
I'll just roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was the
no
Fae.
Sure. 3 days. I'll spread the word, and maybe we'll gather a few more folk, given pending my discussions with Buchrabech out there. We'll gather a big crowd. Big crowds, a lot of money.
No armor. What else can I take in there? No shield.
No.
But like, what if I got like a nice ring?
You carry jewelry in there. Just know if you die, you're not gonna have it. You won't be passing it down to your little bearlings or whatever they're called.
They're called cubs, moron.
Of course, he says.
like that's so obvious, dude.
My fucking
You're right.
apologies.
You're right.
If you tell us a bit about where the plague doctors gather and where they go, we'll be sure to be back in a few days to solve this little bet.
They must have a little kip around here somewhere in the slough. They don't seem to be going up and down the thing. I tell you what, we gather everyone here. I will make it my fucking mission that night to find out where they're staying. Sounds like we could all profit off of it. And, well,
Sounds
a
good.
zombie will die or whatever this thing is. Walking carpet of a warrior.
Be nice, Sai. He has a bit of a temper and has a tendency to cut down things that get in his way.
Again, my fucking apologies.
Yeah, we're all friends here, of course. It is a trying time. Tempers run high. We all understand.
Tempers run high. We need a bit of sport. And finally, we have a challenger for Grog.
I've seen him rip the arms off of a competitor. My advice: let the Ursine win.
What? Don't tell him to give up.
No. Don't take the other side of the bet against him. Find some suckers to line that up, and take your vig. But
he takes a small brass platter out of the out of his desk. It's like the offering plate at a church, and he puts it down in front of the professor who said he wanted to make a bet, and he's like, "What do you want?"
Oh, yeah. What is a normal bet in these parts?
Odds will likely be 2-1 for Grog.
Oh, 2-1. I stand to double my money then, as it were.
He's pointing at the plate, like, make your bet now.
The professor will start rifling in his pockets for coins. How much do I owe you for the drinks? I don't want to bet too much.
It's fucking swill. $50.
Oh, it's 50. Carry the one. Yes, of course. Fareosae, oh, this has been a while since I've engaged in gambling.
I will accept goods, and we'll get a fair appraisal.
Oh, goods, I have a bit of coin. Let's see if it's an even $1,000. How does that sound?
Sell cost, not market price.
Yes, well, I don't have time for commerce anyway. Let's deal in coin
2
and
to 1, it ends up working out.
$1,000 on my friend Thurgus. Thurgus, I would bet more, but I am afraid I must make purchases still.
Oh, I believe that is all of your money except what you're planning to buy. We're good.
Okay, so are you putting $1,000 in the plate?
Yeah, I'll put $1,000
Okay.
down on Thurgus winning.
Mark down somewhere what the bets are for Thurgus's fight.
I'll take out $500 and slap it on the plate. I'll
Okay.
put 500 on the bear.
I'll throw in loot and treasure. I'm gonna make in there.
You're digging around. Here's 400 fishing lures.
Fair market sell price.
We could put that fish scale blouse up too.
I mean, out of character, we should put
For
up
the party.
we're not planning on using because he'll just sell it for us, and that kind of circumvents our minimum 1,000 gold sell, right?
Yes, if you win.
I mean, it's not like all my armor comes from full plate and a shield, and all my damage comes from an adamantine. Oh, wait.
I'll spell you up before you go in and keep your bard song.
Yeah, we'll cheat. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There are some things that have obvious value, like the beautiful string of pearls. That's 50 pearls at 100 gold pieces each. That's $5,000 right there. The bag of scrimshaw carvings, that's 600 gold. 800 gold worth of onyx. Like, there are things you could make.
We can put up several thousand worth of. Let's put the fish scale blouse up there, because that's
Okay.
great for witches, and we've got one witch who already has one.
Right.
So
Got it?
I made a page under gear and treasure that's just bets. So I've got $1,000 for the professor, $500 for Fareosae. I don't know if you want to put.
I'm going to move this over.
Am I allowed to bet on myself?
Yep.
I'm going to put down 1,500.
Nice.
Where is that? I think it hasn't refreshed. Wait.
MT just put 1,500 for Thurgus. I assume.
Is it its own page under gear and treasure?
Yeah, I made a page in gear and treasure.
It's right above it, yeah. The only thing that I've got a couple hundred left. I'm pretty poor. But the only thing I would like to buy in between now and then is a holy symbol tattoo. So right now my holy symbol is part of my chest piece. I want to get a tattoo before that fight. It's only like 100 gold.
You guys know that there are tattoo artists in the Leatherton
Yeah.
Sweet.
neighborhood.
You should 100% go to a tattoo shop during a blood-based disease pandemic.
No worries.
No, sure, fine.
We've got removed disease. It'll be fine.
All right. So you guys have made your bets. He pulls the weird offering tray, puts it back into his desk. He seems to keep track of things in his head. 3 nights from now, then?
Yes.
If you don't show up, you forfeit.
Fair enough. If we don't show up, we'll be dead, or so rich it's worth it.
Yes, we'll do our best. We don't want to spoil the neighborhood's fun and lose our coin, of course. You know how it is on the streets, though.
Okay. He takes out like kind of a cloth napkin, puts it over the coins, wraps up the coins, puts them away in his desk, and then puts the letter opener away in his desk. He does step outside, or he actually opens up the door to his office and invites you all to leave.
Oh, shall we mingle?
Yeah, I heard that there's going to be a badass bear fighting in this pit in a couple of days.
He does.
So I've got some rumors to spread.
Sai kind of hops up on one of the chairs. He's got his leg up on the table, or one of his feet up onto a table. He does that weird. I can't do it. It's the really loud whistle. Yeah, exactly. He does the really loud whistle. Everyone stops and looks. Everyone, listen up. We are going to have a fucking brawl, and everyone's like, ah.
Yeah, bro.
We found a contender who's willing to
Who is
stand
it?
to stand up against the might of Grog. Everyone's like, yeah.
Grog.
We have Thurgus
Oh, it's me.
of the Blood Bear.
Yeah.
Hey, rip a ghost sound off and throw some roars behind Thurgus as he gets announced.
Bets are 2-1 for Grog. Put in your bets for Samson. For 3 nights from now, we are going to have a battle. Spread word. Everyone welcome first drinks on me.
Yeah, drinks.
Okay, the bar seems to be hopping. There seems to be a boost of morale. People are coming up to like shake Thurgus's hand.
Yeah. It's very awkward because I have large paws.
You guys have as much whiskey as you want. Sai seems to be busy with his customers, and a lot of them are placing bets.
At probably some point, I will try and slip away and wander my way upstairs. I don't know if anybody from our group notices or follows, but I'll wander away while we're in here and go up into the attic.
Okay.
Is that an opposed perception check, or are you interested in us staying behind?
I'm not interested in you staying behind. Definitely you guys, I'll turn and look at Fareosae for sure before I go, and
I'll go up.
I'll make eye contact so people know I'm moving, but I'm not gonna announce it or anything.
I have a feeling the bear leaving would get noticed, so I'll probably just, if I make my passive perception is like 24.
They're not stealthing away from you. They seem to be like kind of, you want to go, and they're like, yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely. But if they're trying to keep other people from knowing they're going upstairs, then I would stay down here as a distraction, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we're more just taking a step away. There's all kinds of other places you can go inside Cantina here, so I think
there's it's much quieter in this back hallway. You do see some people have stored their gear. I think this is a door or a big table. It might be a big table. There's people have stored their gear back here and maybe some of their belongings. You do see a stack of spears. They might be ready to arm people in the tavern if need be. You don't know why they've gone back here, Thurgus. They seem to know what they're doing, but
so what we're doing?
Oh, steel yourself, Thurgus. This will get, as they say, interesting.
Oh, those are stairs, right?
Yeah, I'll say, and I'll walk up to the stairs and make my way up. I won't. I definitely won't like explain. I'll
Okay.
just say something cryptic
So
and walk
the stairwell
away.
leads to a hallway that runs north south relative to the building, and the rooms you're guessing are bedrooms. Thurgus. Some of them have clients and clientele, and people who work here. Others have been jam packed full of families and people who are staying. It does not look like any of the rooms are unoccupied. They seem to ignore most of what's going on down this big hallway, and you sort of end up at the north side of the building near another set of steps that lead up into what could be described as the attic.
Hmm.
You do see a weird placard on the wall near the steps that says "Home Sweet Home," and it looks like somebody took from their house and placed it at the bottom of these steps. And then there are these really, really slender steps of wrought iron that lead up into the attic.
Are we going to meet that ghost thing?
Yes, please be on your best behavior. She is understandably upset.
Is she one of those ghosts that knows she's a ghost, or are we pretending like she's still alive?
I don't know.
I think she knows.
I think she knows and it pains her.
Got it.
She's worried about her child.
Is her child also a ghost, or is that what's keeping her around, like unfinished protecting kid business?
It's that.
Yes, it's more
I
that.
think the child is alive and trapped with hags.
Oh, we killed some of those.
Yes, well, not enough, I'm afraid. She will probably be a bit upset that we haven't made more progress. It's probably best not to say anything unless she speaks to you directly.
While you're standing there, the little iron staircase leads up to a door, like to the attic apartment, and you can hear the door is now like doing a very creepy opening of its own accord.
Yes. Yes, she's
It
expecting.
it just goes ajar, kind of like the door in the background at Matt's place. It just kind of yeah, about that much.
Yeah. I'll walk up and I will summon the unseen servant and have him open the door the rest of the way for me.
Okay, there's a
It's an
ghostly
ancient door. That door's probably 100 years old.
No shit.
Probably. It seems original.
a ghostly door pushes a ghostly form pushes the door open. It creaks some more and reveals a small like I would say attic apartment. There are no rooms, although they're kind of like little cubbies off to the side, a place for washing, a place for preparing meals, a small furnace, like a little stove, both for heat and for cooking. And then there's a bed full of Afghan blankets. The bed looks like it's made. There are some woman clothing as well as some small boy clothing that are kind of hanging here and there. The place has considerable amount of dust. There is a kitchen table with several chairs, and immediately there's a slight rumble from the furnace as it kind of kicks on.
I'll start to make my way towards the center of the room, running my hand gently across like the clothes of Zellara and her son, and starting to sort of slip into a reverie.
Okay.
As I make my way towards the middle, to where I think Zellara must have done her readings in the past, whether they be her official readings for money or just the ones she would do to amuse her son.
Okay.
For
There's snapping you out of your relaxed sort of reverie state. There are 3 bangs from the top of the table, like somebody's punching or slapping the top of the table in anger.
I know, girl, I know. We have not made enough progress, but I bring news, dire though it may be. Please, please, commune with us, I'll say as I take out her hero deck and start to deal.
Okay. I need to look something up. First, what is the date? It is in the dying days of summer, and it shouldn't be cold in here, but the furnace kicked on, and it is like 50 degree F in this room. You can see your own breath.
You're here. Hear us, Zellara. We bring word of your boy, though I do not relish the thought of telling you. Please, come forth. Show yourself.
Okay, there is a chair that kind of that moves out from the table, inviting you to sit down.
Oh, I'm sitting in. I'm getting in there.
Okay, the professor hops down and sits down at the table. You feel it kind of being pulled in to the table, like
Whew.
it's right up to your sternum. You try to push a little bit, and there's a force that's keeping both the table and the chair in place.
Yeah, I'll just let it in. I'm just getting deep into it. No fighting it at this point.
Yeah, Thurgus, you're like, okay, you're watching. There's a presence in the room. And it's not the one the professor conjured to open the door.
I'm doing my best not to channel positive to harm.
Yeah, I'll activate the Harrow deck to get her to appear as a major illusion sitting across from me on the table while I start to deal.
Okay. You have come to the place where Zellara has spent a lot of time in life. And you get the sense that she's very angry.
She was last time.
It's worse this time. Zellara appears, human woman with kind of a crazy frock of black hair, a simple dress, and a strange hat. Just she kind of almost like flickers into view. She's sitting across from the professor.
Zellara, it is with great pains I must tell you, they have your son. It is as you suspected. Oh, the witch, the archfey, Baba Yaga has him in her devilish, hellish prison. They are doing something to him, Zellara.
With the mention of Baba Yaga, it seems like there's a ripple throughout the room where every container and thing that can move kind of starts moving, like cupboards opening and closing, drawers opening and closing, things rising up and down and bumping all around, and it kind of washes in a wave around the room as you speak Baba Yaga's name. When it comes back around to her, she's got her eyes open and she's staring directly at you, and the cards have gone away from your hands and are now in her hands.
Yeah, my girl. Yes.
The runes on the top of the cards, these are the obscured faces of the cards, are tingling with magic. And finally, she kind of looks around the room, and there is a chair that gets thrown out and is now bumping into the back of Thurgus, but Thurgus is too strong to make that, like, for her to actually force Thurgus down at the table.
Thurgus, be seated. She demands your attention. Quickly.
All right, I'll sit down.
Okay.
This is part of being part of the Jerks Emeritus.
You must know. It is past time, you know.
This is part of what binds us together.
So far, I have not been asked any questions, so I'm not talking.
Yeah, it's good. You're doing good, Thurgus.
It's like trying his best.
Yeah, he's doing good. He hasn't even tried to smash or cut any doors open or nothing, you know?
This would be much more fun as a prop in person, but
We don't do that anymore, Marty.
No, it's in the before times, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Aw,
Before
I
time.
missed the before times.
We all do, guys. It's best not to think about them too hard.
It's nice seeing your faces, though. It's hard to recognize people with masks on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a drive-through the other day, and there were a couple people who were talking on the other side of the window about the fact that we might go through a generation where people forget how to smile effectively because they're focused so hard on communicating with their eyes.
Holy shit, you had that kind of discussion at a drive-through?
I swear to God, this is the guy who was like giving me my food at Taco Bell.
That's awesome, man. That
Just
guy.
like bullshitting with the people in the back, and I'm like, you know, that's a good point. And in order to make that point, I had to open my eyes really wide to be like, yeah.
There's gonna be like this freaking generation, and then social distancing. Oh man, we're gonna be
Future,
bad
guys.
at communicating.
Yep.
A year from now.
It's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Let's all keep those fingers crossed.
How awkward we're gonna be when things return to a quasi-normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were just paragons of social interaction before too. You know, us D&D nerds, we're known for our ability to socialize.
Thurgus, when she looks at you, the room falls away. There's an incredible light. You can't see the companions anymore, and you're kind of flying through the sky, sitting at a table with Zellara. Why are you here? You hear a voice.
Oh, that's a question. I could say stuff. Because I followed my friends upstairs.
There's a slight smile. And she re-asks the question, and you immediately know, like, the question is deeper.
Oh, I'm on a quest for vengeance and to murder a bunch of bastard alchemists.
Why?
Because they captured me when I was on a diplomatic mission and they cut me open and they messed around with me intestines and it was all gross and they killed my friend and I'm pissed off.
Yes. There is much to be angry about.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't a question. Sorry.
I can help you. If you help me.
Yeah, alright. These people seem to think you're trustworthy, so I guess that's fine. As long as it's not like stab someone in the back in dishonorable combat or something.
They have shown great dishonor, and for generations have preyed upon the children.
Oh, well, fuck them. Who's them?
Her name was just spoken, and even I, in my state, do not wish her ire upon me. But it is her servants, and those that she has entered into unholy communion with, that still plague us.
Is that the name that caused all the doors to move and stuff? Or we're not supposed to say it?
Her name has power. She has survived where gods have not.
Right. So what if, like, everyone promised never to say her name again? Will she die?
No.
Bollocks.
Your power is something else.
You mean like the blood bear?
Your spirit is strong. Your blood is third, fourth generation?
I mean, they used to say that, look, my great granddad was the blood bear, but I'm not sure I ever met him per se.
Yes. Yes. There is torment in your blood, but you have remained Good.
For the most part, I've done some questionable things, but yeah, I've got a good sense of morals.
You do not reek of evil. And in these trying times, we must do with what we have. Yes, your vengeance has meaning.
Yeah, vengeance.
There is power in your blood, Thurgus. There is power in the blood of those that came with you.
Wait, you mean to this Pearl?
Yes.
Are they taking my friend's blood?
Yes. Rescue your friends, if they still live, and if they die, take their blood.
Wait, like in a bottle or like?
Yes.
Got it.
While I would not suggest this to most creatures, you are 4 generations from something that is near divine, and there is power in blood. I will help you unlock these powers if you help me.
Right, so, how can I help you?
My son was taken by the agents of the one who was spoken. I want my son back.
That seems fine. Totally doable and not questionable at all.
But the forces in storm around those that have taken have obscured where he is. I cannot see him. And
Got it.
and those that would do harm to the people of the pearls themselves must suffer. They must be destroyed and stopped. There is more at stake here than you, your people, and even my son. But it is all we know, our pain. So we must give our pain strength. If you agree, cut your finger upon a card.
Yeah, yeah.
You take out like a claw and like
Yep.
like
No,
like
you
cut myself first, or do I need to take the
see
card?
you see the cards kind of splay out in front of you.
Here we go.
Do I need to cut myself first, or do I cut myself with a card?
She's offering the cards to you.
I'll take a card.
Like this one?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm tempted to be like, no, countdown 13. That's the one I want.
Yeah, now
that's fine.
All right, let's have a look here. I'm just going to make sure that this is a good card, a suitable card. There is maybe 1 or 2 cards I want to save.
Ooh.
Where did I put the Harrow deck? Did you see those somewhere?
Yeah, we have it in maybe Gear and Treasure. Where was that?
Yeah, item Zellara's hero deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Under Gear and Treasure. We've used the Forge. The Bear got used.
Boo.
The Demon's Lantern, the Waxworks, the Lost, the Mutag, the Titan, the Dethrone, the Unicorn. We also used, I think the Joke was the last one the Professor got. Looks like we didn't mark it off. Let me just double check it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Joke got used as well.
Also, the sickness. I currently have the sickness.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
All the fucking thematic ones.
I picked the Uprising.
There we go. That's what we need.
Oh,
It is the chaotic neutral card of strength.
Oh yes.
Hey, I'm chaotic neutral.
And we just like kind of tried to get the Slough fired up in the streets here, right?
Okay, immediately you have there is the righteous anger that starts to fill you inside, fill up inside. Those that would deign to place restrictions and laws to do horrible things to you, your friends, to the people of the Slough, you begin to feel very, very angry. And this anger begins to give you strength.
I think Ahmed's trying to throw some points down.
Ahmed, if you wanted to give a boon, I would definitely...
He's like, Marty!
For now, this card, and in the deal that you've made with the spirit Zellara, manifests in Thurgus's slight awakening of the strength of his bloodline. You can add +2 inherent bonus to your strength.
Okay.
As if you read from a manual of gainful exercise.
Party boon just got dropped in chat. Hey yo.
Nice.
You know that the path before you will be a bloody one, for there are many that seek to control and that will try to enslave not only the people that are here, but also the people of all the pearls. You catch signs that if things are not done, that even your people will be put into chains, and all of them will be given unto the likes of the vivisectionists and alchemists.
Fuck those guys.
There's something even more insidious beneath that, though, that it seems to be roiling around in the darkness that you see spreading across the world underneath the tea table that you're sitting at with Zellara.
I will use this not only to find your son, not only to kill the fuckers that took him, but to kill any fucker who thinks they can take any person's children, who thinks they have a right to anyone else. Fuck this place. Fuck those guys. There will be blood.
Can we double down on the boon party? Yeah, if you guys want to throw boons at...
It seems Ahmed really wants the card The Mountain Man. I see it.
What is the mountain?
is that the picture on the uprising?
No, I'm looking at Zellara's hair deck. There seems to be a shield card called the Mountain Man.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I know what he's making reference to.
Marty.
I will reveal more if there is another boon or hero point spent.
Oh shit, that's a challenge, chat. Anybody else in here got some points you want to throw around?
Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait to see.
Oh no!
It's like just spending all of his.
Yeah.
Okay.
God. Double boon, triple boon.
Calling bluff right now.
All right, you guys want good things to happen to Thurgus. Okay.
or interesting things.
Yeah. I mean, we're building up this blood bear guy. He's about to pop off soon.
Thurgus, you catch a vision of your grandfather
great grandfather if it's 4 times removed?
Great grandfather that normal people came up to like his navel. Like he was truly titanic in size. You catch a vision of him on some battlefield, just rivers of blood and corpses around him as he was fighting what appeared to be impossible odds. It felt very far away and a very long time ago. But he stood like a mountain on the mountainside. And you know that if you now know that it is possible to unlock the gifts of your grandfather's bloodline to grow large.
What do I have to eat?
And because so many boons were thrown, and Zellara believes that she has found another vehicle for her vengeance, has bestowed upon Thurgus memories unlocked that actually translate into experiences, an entire life's worth of experiences of fighting.
Oh, yeah.
And at the table, flying above as the pearls are being eaten by some miasma carpet-like darkness, Thurgus, amongst the clouds, 1 foot into the spirit world, will remember these lessons of a great warrior. And you now have your gestalt.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was going to wait to do your gestalt until you found your brothers. Instead, you might get large when you find your brothers.
Okay.
We'll change the big and in charge or whatever that thing to actually just no. Now you're large, and then this is gestalt.
Damn. Wow, that's a fucking serious boon. Right.
That is an excellent boon. And you got a fight coming up.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What is your gestalt?
Last thing Marty and I talked about. Do I need to lock it in now, Marty?
You could.
I mean, depending with your girlfriend or wife or whatever, a little more, you know.
Yeah, to save your marriage, we will say that you have to make a decision. Given that rebuilding a character during game sucks, we'll say your gestalt will have taken effect whenever next game starts.
Okay, yeah. I am like this close to locking that in. Right now, I'm leaning towards martial master fighter.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, give it another week.
I'm just
run it by her.
I feel like I have to actually lock it in just because of like this idea of memories of another war.
Exactly. Yes.
I assume it's a martial class, so that was my assumption going into this.
Well, the idea is that the martial the martial master fighter has the ability from brawler that allows them to do martial flexibility. So this idea of like invoking memories of other warriors fits perfectly.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I have to go that route at this point. The story is just too good. The lore is just too good.
I like it, but I think you should really just make sure she's okay with it. You know,
the part that disturbs Thurgus a little bit is he starts to wonder, how is it that one man had so many lifetimes of battles? And there is an edge of... There's a danger to the cliff that you're standing upon.
Do I get the sense that it's possible to get lost in that?
Yep.
Okay.
And you are wondering if your grandfather or your great-grandfather actually did.
Okay.
Thurgus, basically to the rest of you, you saw him sort of reach out, cut his finger with one of the cards, and then it like spilled over, and there was this like living uprising happening in the card itself. And Thurgus just then clutched the edge of the table and just started roaring, and it sounded like the sound of, I don't know if you were measuring, Luke. Did we lose
Yes.
Luke? If we were measuring, it was like the sound of 128 bears roaring.
But how many medium
love bears.
humans, though? 128 bears, that's like at least like 200 medium-sized humans, though.
256 humans.
256 humans worth of bears just. Thurgus gets up. He kind of breaks the chair as he's getting up, and is now just sort of roaring around the room.
Oh!
Zellara looks pleased with herself, and the room is starting to warm up as opposed to staying cold with her frigid anger.
She vanishes. Like I make eye contact, eyes brimming with rage. You will have your son, or I will die trying. You have my word. And he sticks his claws in his chest. And this time, rather than like a salute, he rakes it across the top above the breastplate. Just like drips over the mithril. So it's like this red glisten over that sort of bright white silver.
Okay. Just as a note, there will always be a bloody stain in the floorboards at the edge of Zellara's tea table. No amount of scrubbing will ever get this stain out.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Zellara does glance to Fareosae while the roaring was going on. That she whispers, "There is a question on the tip of your tongue."
There are several. How do we get back to him? And perhaps the bigger question is, can it even be saved? Is Winter's grip so tight that we have to find a safe place far beyond?
Zellara whispers to you. It's almost like she flickered, and now she's sort of whispering into your ear, and she says, "The key is still in this pearl."
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you, Zellara. We will not forget.
Okay. Things are now quiet. Pixel, who was hiding behind some furniture, zips up beside Fareosae.
I'm very winded.
Yes. I believe you've met Zellara then, have you?
That's one main bitch.
Yes, she's quite angry. Understandably so, I'll say as I begin to gather up her cards.
Is your purpose also renewed, Professor?
Oh, I have never lost dedication to the cause, as it were. I only wish we had more to offer her. It has been so long since we've heard any word of her son, since it was Ludo who offered the last bit.
Oh, I got a lot of plans for offerings.
We learned some from Ludo, I believe.
Yes, he knew that her son was
Just a few days past.
Yes, that is the last we've heard, but as you know, it is not enough to quench our spirit.
The way back is still available. It is in Grand Station.
The way back.
somewhere.
For
And
her.
so we need to go and find it.
Yes, as she indicated earlier, it is tied up with this whole mess.
Yes, Ludo's shadow must still hunt him. And so we will have to find it and take what is ours from it. Don't burn the door yet, I think is what I'm saying.
Yes. The quest continues, I suppose. Thurgus, are you all right over there?
I feel great. But if anybody heard all that yelling downstairs, I think I might have fucked with our odds. If I heard
No.
300 bears roaring in the attic, I would not bet against that badass bear in a lifetime.
You know this is a brothel, and they saw you go upstairs, so perhaps it is just written off as a pleasant diversion for the Slough's most recent hero.
Yes. Perhaps there were 500 bears up there, and that's why they heard 630 bears roaring.
As I've
The
discovered,
number's just gonna go up. 2 million bears.
Oh, we were supposed to go to some mansion today or something. We did the drinking. We met the nice lady who's going to help me fuck a whole bunch of people up. We can save a kid. And now we got to go to some place that you're from to learn a bunch of stuff. Is that right?
I think that's right.
And then we kill a whole bunch of alchemists.
They are definitely part of the dark secrets that we must unravel.
Unraveling's kind of like eviscerating, and I was planning on the latter.
Sure.
well, now that that business has been attended to, shall we adjourn downstairs?
I think so. We may even want to, well, let's try and find out as much as we can about your family, as discreetly as we can, and about the people that hold court there now.
Yes, as much as we can learn about them in the Ashfords, perhaps you
Oh,
could
that one too.
perhaps you could help us mingle, Fareosae. You know, Thurgus and I aren't as witty with conversation.
Yeah, I'll happily help out on that, and I'll put glibness up just in case we need to lie our way into deeper secrets.
Sure. When you guys go back down to the
Those sorts of things.
main tap room, everyone's just staring as you guys are. Like everyone stopped what they're doing and drinking.
I will pull out a silent image wand. I will cast a silent image to break the tension of this moment. And I think it will be Sai's head on top of Madame Muba's from the torso up, naked body, dancing a jig on the bar, and I'll say, "How? Why the long faces, everyone? I thought this was a party. Drinks on me!" And I'll do that a little bit until people.
Sai looks partially bemused and partially pissed off. You notice that Samson catches that and tries to throw a rag over top of the little image, but it just goes right through. It flickers a little bit and continues to dance. You got a bunch of people hollering and laughing. Muba is laughing, and Sai looks pissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Sai's been mad at me before. He'll get over it. I'll subtract another $50 for another round here.
Okay, you buy a round of the bar. How long is this illusion lasting?
I mean, I'll take my time to get to my table or wherever we're gonna sit down, and then after we've been seated, people are pretty fixed on it. It'll do like one last olay and curtsy, spin around,
Okay.
and disappear in a puff.
There are a couple of really drunk customers that are really, really laughing hard and kind of pointing at Sai and laughing. Sai just actually gives a little nod to Mog, and those two get dragged outside, and you don't see them again for the rest of the night.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, Sive takes it a bit personal, so.
There's chuckling, but there doesn't seem to be like the guffaws that happened at first, and people are avoiding looking at Sai after that.
Wow, Sai really I didn't think he would take it this hard. I thought as the proprietor of a brothel, he'd be a little more cool about his face being on the madam's naked torso, but you know, live and learn.
Oh, I heard a bunch of bears outside. Are we being attacked by bears?
Not at the moment. I think the bears are on our side.
Is everything all right? You look like you've been into a scrap there, Thurgus.
Oh, I am fucking fantastic.
Okay, Buchrabech will channel positive energy to heal wounds. Probably heals up whatever claw damage you did to yourself.
I was actually down 20 from the zombie fight outside.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's
It's a good point.
I just left it there.
He blasts out a couple of 5. Yeah, he does 2 channels and heals you up.
Okay. Like, Thurgus is totally cool walking around with damage on him.
Okay.
Full disclosure, like, he'll walk around with just covered in blood. It's great.
Mokrenom seems to have a buzz going. Even Buchrabech looks like he was in a conversation with Sai. He seems to be in good spirits. Apparently, they will pay. They will give offerings to the Church of Papadamadomba down here. I told them that I have a contract first with you, and that any leftover healing spells that you do not use in a day, I will simply walk down the street and use here.
Sounds good. And you should keep this. I'm basically going to make that loan of the Pearl of Power.
Yes.
Indefinite as long as he's making us money.
Ah, yes.
Well, good, Buchrabech.
Or healing us.
Yep.
One of the two.
Yep.
There's been too many long faces in the slough lately, and I'm sick of it.
It's why is everyone in a bad mood? I'm tired of the bad mood around here.
Everybody's down all the time.
Oh, the professor's privilege, or whatever you want to call it. just skewed.
Sir Fareosae, does anyone seem of interest to you?
Well, Master Logrim probably has some information.
Prickly sort, though. Think you can engage him?
I think we can, but also he doesn't probably mingle too much with the crew. Perhaps we should talk to someone like Sweet Josie and see if she's heard anything about the Archmenos.
Yes, I think if we want Logrim to engage with us, we should engage him in a friendly game of cards, perhaps. He is the betting sort, I believe.
Perhaps you could give it a try. I think he also likes information.
Well, tricky business information. Say too much and you've lost out on what you thought you were gaining.
Fair enough.
Okay, are you gathering information in the bar?
Yes.
Okay, so there are specific NPCs that are here. You can talk to them specifically, or you could just make a general check for the bar itself.
I think a general check first, just to get a feel for the type of folks that are here and the information that's sort of sitting around.
Sure.
Maybe follow up on some really specific details with individuals.
Yep.
If we want to kind of go deeper into some aspect of it. Let's see what
What
we
kind of
got.
check is this?
It's a diplomacy check.
I should be able to aid you. What is auto aid? Is there auto aid in this?
If you can make 10 on a roll. So if you have a +9, you auto aid.
I have +8 normally, but I have glamour running. It's 10s per level. I cast it right before we walked in, so that's 80 minutes. It's been a while, actually. Has it been an hour and 20 since we walked into this place?
Yeah, a diplomacy check to gather information takes 1d4 hours.
Let me see if I aid. 13.
Yeah,
I
you
can
aid.
try to help if you want. It depends on whether or not you think Thurgus is very helpful in that respect.
Isn't your charisma all fucked up from the blood veil?
My diplomacy might be -2 right now. That's up to you.
I think you just drink at this table, Thurgus. You've done enough, sir. You've had quite the morning.
I can toss out glibness and heroism on myself, extended to 160 minutes, which is a pretty significant amount of time.
Sure, we're gonna say because this place is packed that we'll have the time to gather the info.
All right, so I should be able to keep those guys. Not that the glibness helps with the check in particular, but thematically it feels right.
Okay, about 90 minutes later, you've canvassed the bar for information. What specifically are you trying to find out?
I'd like to know about the patterns of the plague doctors and the patterns of anyone from the Archmenos family, and any intersections there. Like, where do the plague doctors go? What have people heard that they're doing? See if any patterns kind of emerge
Okay,
from
so
that.
those are two separate
When,
rolls.
how many? Sure. Yeah.
Oops.
26 hours of bar conversation later.
Well, yeah, 3 hours can easily get past in a bar.
Oh yeah.
Never, Marty.
We've done this before.
I've never been to a bar. Tell me a tale of such a place.
Heard about them.
Yeah, what are these bars? Taverns.
All right, I'm running it plus 18 on diplomacy, which is not bad. So here's the first check, which is presumably about the plague doctors. 34.
Yeah, you gather that the plague doctors have been visiting the Slough. They seem to go where people are sick. And a lot of the sick people where you gather in the vicinity of where what was it called? Give me a second. Map of Grand Station.
Kind of over by that by that swamp.
Was in Leatherton.
Okay. Yeah.
Leatherton,
Right.
Gray District. They're like, yeah, you don't want to live down in Leatherton. They hear the pigs are getting sick, and some people actually point to the Gray District. That's where they're bringing all the bodies, and that's where the sickness probably is. Yeah, don't touch the bodies is basically what they're saying.
Okay.
If you want to know where the plague doctors are, they're like they visited those areas lots. You do get some stories, however, that the plague doctors have been visiting all the neighborhoods, basically.
Okay.
They do travel in groups.
Sure.
You do hear that sometimes they even have a gray maiden amongst them, or they're escorted by the guard.
Okay. Do 1d2 to see how many hours that took?
No, I already rolled. It took 90 minutes.
Okay. Let's do one more then, and I'll spend one of those points, one of the fortune points on it, to ask about the Archmenos family.
I'll aid you on that one as well.
All right. I'm curious what people have heard about them, what they do, where they go, and if they have any relationship with the plague doctors.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. 25.
People don't generally know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're an obscure.
Some people recognize Archmenos. They're like, oh, they're a really old noble family.
I'm not willing to say too much because I don't want to get a reputation as the guy asking about them.
Yep. You do hear from one person that Archmenoses are known to, their wealth is in property. They buy houses and property.
Okay.
And they talk about some castle somewhere in a different Pearl. They're fond of castles.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's worthwhile.
I wonder
Nothing dramatically new for us, but still good.
I wonder if there's like a place of records that might have copies of deeds or something like that you could trace back.
Could be. We do know that they own the Chalmers residence.
The Citadel probably maintains. There's probably a hall of records, somewhere up on the plateau area. Commander might be able to point you in the right direction. Or maybe even Buchrabech, or someone in the Temple District. There are probably several organizations that keep records. Yeah, the common folk of the Slough don't really know about really old noble families, and that's about all that you get from them. They're a really
that
old,
makes sense.
They're a really old family, and they don't seem to be really relevant to the day-to-day of the people here in the tavern.
That's probably good. I think if they were operating out in the open, I'd be maybe more worried.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I do want to ask one more brief question of Master Logrim.
Yep.
I want to ask him if he knows any folks from the Archmenos family that have taken an interest in the dark aspects of the Chalmers past. More than just an investment because it's a creepy property.
I'll aid on that one as well.
This is just interacting with an NPC, so there's no roles involved. Unless you're trying to convince him to tell you what he knows. So the two of you sit down at his table and are being polite.
Sure.
And asking him effectively for a favor. So yeah, you could give me a diplomacy check here.
I'll go ahead and do that then. The heroism is probably down. I'll spend my last favor point and the from Henry here. There's a 34. So, Master Logrim, you mentioned that we don't want to get tangled up in the Chalmers past, but
he looks across the table where he's hovering and looks directly at the professor.
Oh, that it might be unwise to get entangled in dark secrets, we'll say.
It's fine, Master Logrim. No offense taken. I know my family's reputation as well as any.
Yes, but I know that the old residence has been bought up by folks that are interested in occult properties, shall we say. Do you know if they've taken a more specific interest than just ownership? Are they operating anything? Have you heard rumors of them operating anything out of that place?
Wait, so you say you're aware of your family's business?
Yes, of course, it was and is my business, but the family has quite a few endeavors they engage in, so indulge me. What is the talk about the town? What are we mixed up in, as the common folk see it?
He blinks a long, slow blink, takes a long puff from his pipe.
Am I to get that you don't know what your family business is?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I prefer not to speak of such things too in depth, but indulge an old man, if you will, gentleman sorcerer, gentleman wizard. Please, what are they saying about us on the streets these days?
He looks at Fareosae like, is this some sort of trap?
Please.
Um, I'll say, mm, yeah, he knows some, right? But nobody knows everything about their family.
Call it a bit of genealogy, delving into the family history, as it were.
What
The
do,
Every family has the parts that folks don't talk about, right?
people don't visit your
Directly
family's
to them.
house in the Slough. Many believe it's haunted. Is that the sort of information you want?
Everyone knows that sort of information. We're looking for something that only the wise and the discerning might know. Someone such as yourself, Master Logrim.
Are you trying to discern how much I know about your family's secrets so that you can kill me if I say too much?
Master Logrim, if I wanted to kill you, I would have invested a lot more time trying to plan it rather than engaging you in a bar conversation at 3 in the afternoon while drunk. I am but trying to.
The point of your conversation is rather confusing. You claim to know about your family's business, yet you're asking what the common man knows about the family business of wizards. It seems a very odd question. Why don't you ask your question a bit more directly? You could also answer mine. Do you know your family's business or not?
Well, scholarship has, of course, been the public face to what our business is, as
Yes,
I'm sure you know.
scholarship. It's an interesting way of putting it.
And we both know that that scholarship has tended towards what some might call unsavory topics. And I don't wish to besmirch the name of my family too much in public, but as a lark, please indulge me with what rumors you may have heard about us. I promise I will take no offense and take no recourse against you. Consider it the fancies of a half drunk old man in his twilight years wishing to hear about the things that go bump in the night.
Again, you want to know rumors.
Yes. Well, you said that the common people don't go there because it's haunted. We're interested in the people who do go there recently, and what you've heard about who and what on that.
Whatever fell things your family did in that house, let's just say the stain remained. You've spent more time there than I have, haven't you? Are
Yes,
you not at
yes.
Chalmers?
Last I checked.
Well, whatever your family did. Hmm.
I'll make you an offer. If we were to go, is there anything that you would like us, anything or knowledge that you would like us to bring back for you?
Oh. Ah. I hear that your grandfather had a device. Mm, I would like to study it.
He had a great many devices, sir. You will need to be more specific.
This one could be described as the Grand Pearl. It's a big orb-like device. Sort of a piece of furniture.
Yes, like an orrery.
Well, more of just a big orb.
Hmm.
It said that it had divination powers. I'd very much like to study it. Of course, it's big, but I'd be willing to make room for it.
Hmm.
Perhaps
Cool.
I could unlock its secrets and then I could share it with you.
Surely you must know what sorts of things my grandfather used the orb for. Are you seeking to peer beyond the pearls, Master Logrim? Into the space beyond what lies beyond time?
Ah, you are very trying, are you not, Professor?
I've been accused of much worse, I assure you.
If you're so interested in your family's residence, why don't you just simply go there?
Oh, I had not considered it. Perhaps this evening I will pay a visit to the old estate.
Could I'm getting the distinct sense that you actually don't remember much about your own family.
As it were, to be frank, I don't remember much of anything these days, Master Logrim.
What a horrible malady to have as a wizard.
It is a gift and curse at times.
I know someone.
Oh, I don't think I would quite enjoy what would be unblocked in such a noodling, and whoever you know may not be, shall we say, coherent or sane after the noodling is done. Terrible trap the mind is. You
Ah,
wouldn't believe what gets caught up in there.
yes. Something happened, didn't it? Something a long time ago.
The professor at this point, his eyes start to glaze and he starts to stare beyond Master Logrim. And I think he'll start to mumble to himself and wave his hand about as he casts a silent image. And the image of his brother, his dead child brother, will appear somewhere in the bar where Professor can see, and he'll stare at it and mumble to himself until interrupted.
I'll follow his eyes because I've seen the younger brother in the dream world.
You do notice it sort of swiveling on his little floating cane. Master Logrim looks over. He reacts to the illusion.
And who might this be?
That'll sort of snap me out, and I'll stop concentrating on it. What did you say? What we were talking about? Sorry, you understand the mind of an old man. Not what it used to be. You were saying?
Ah, yes. I remember. We gnomes are long lived. I was but a moderately powerful wizard back then.
Can I ask an character question?
Sure.
Does this gnome appear bleached in any way?
No.
Okay.
We haven't really taken the Pathfinder bleaching with gnomes too seriously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bleaching?
They're supposed to constantly gain experience in the Galarian world, and if they don't, they bleach.
Yeah.
And
If it's not relevant, I can talk about it offline. I was just curious if that was like a thing that I should or should not infer from this character.
Nope.
Understood. Thank you.
A long time ago, you jogged my memory. Didn't a child go missing?
A child? Yes, there was an unfortunate accident, I'm afraid. My older brother. A terrible thing. Never
Yes.
seen again. Do you know what happened to him? Please.
I have no idea. Just as I didn't then. While when important men lose their children, things often go sideways in their search. Curious. It's almost as if your family tried to hide it.
I assure you, sir, my parents turned heaven and earth in search of a Benjamin.
Did they?
They were distraught. Oh, cut down in the prime of his life, what a scholar he would have been. Oh, you would have seen. We all would have. Oh, but why are we talking of such dark things? How did we get on this subject, anyway? Were we not talking about rumors, current events?
I would leave such dark things to the past if I were you, Henry.
Oh, yes, the past. But a memory now, the past.
Yes. Time often plays with the mind, and our memories may not actually reflect the truth.
Yes. Spoken like a true wizard, no doubt. I agree wholeheartedly. The truth can be amorphous at times when viewed through the lens of one's memories. I believe that's how the poets make a living, is it not, Fareosae?
Yes. And know that it is no comedy in what you will find in your family's home. Or if you go digging through the detritus of the past.
Yes, well, comedy is often rooted in tragedy, I'm afraid, and us Chalmers are no stranger to that.
Well, I was having a nice time.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't know how it became all so melancholy all of a sudden.
You did. You and your cursed family, please, don't involve me any further in the workings of Chalmers' wizardry or scholarship.
Ah,
Are you sure you're even a professor?
sir, please, we are gentlemen here. Do not insult me openly, or I will be forced to take recompense.
Any time, Henry. I believe that if we are... I'm sure that we could have a magistrate in a proper wizard duel. Even in these trying times.
I think for a couple brief moments here, Sinclair is behind Henry's eyes. There
Okay.
is a burning rage of insulting the Chalmers family insulting Henry specifically and his intelligence, and that is a thing Sinclair can do, but not this guy, I think. I think there's a brief moment where the professor comes close to losing control here.
He grins, and you can see that his fingers are twitching near wands as well, and there is a palpable aura coming from the table. Pixel comes, burrowing in close to Fareosae. Are they gonna fight?
I hope not. Can I buy you both a drink? That seems to be a thing humans do when they're looking to
He
lighten the
twiddles
mood.
he twiddles his pipe in his hands, and he kind of just holsters it at his belt, like the pipe might have even been a wand.
Nice.
And he just simply pivots on his little flying cane, and he just utters the word in Gnomish. I thought not. And just starts drifting away.
Fareosae, I am not a man prone to anger, but something about that gnome gets under my skin. I fear I was almost driven to violence there.
Well, let's keep our distance from him then. That seems to be best for everyone.
Yes, I'm afraid what might come over me if I am prone to an outburst in his company.
I don't know that I've seen you have an outburst, Henry.
Well, I try to keep it on an even keel, as they say, but...
You have been a bit more flamboyant lately, though.
Can I hear this conversation from where I'm at? With
Yeah. You sense like there's gonna be a fight.
Oh yeah, I got my money on you, Professor.
Oh,
Somebody say outburst. You should do it.
Yes, I feel the blood bear was speaking to me a bit there, sir.
Yes, do it.
I believe I may be a little too old for this blood to run hot anymore, but to feel alive again, I suppose.
We'll get you one of those like hot and cold creams for your muscles or something that old people use. Get you all nice and spry, and then you can fight. You could be like the opening match to me and that undead thing.
Oh, well. That would be the sight, wouldn't it?
I would pay to see that.
You are spineless, are you? Aren't you? Says Sinclair to Henry.
I'll sort of like look around. I'm surrounded by people, and it's sort of self-aware in this moment, and try and mumble under my breath, like, I am not a man of violence as you. I've left that behind, swore it off, you know that.
In your grandfather's day, you know they came to worship at his feet.
There is a different way. There must be. We've done too much already.
Henry.
Oh, sorry.
Are you there?
Yes, I feel I may have had a bit too much this afternoon. Perhaps we should head back and check in on Master Zephyros.
Perhaps, yes.
Wait, so we're not going to your house tonight?
I believe Zephyros would like to come along. Shall we stop in there, see how goes his project, and then head over?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yes, I think so.
If we decide to spend the night there, though, I think I want to use that forge. Something after we came from downstairs is giving me an idea.
Yes, well, there may be time.
Oh, Zephyros can make magic armor and weapons, right? Not for eating, not for keep. Well, maybe for keeping, but most of you are carrying it.
Yes.
Shall we settle our tab?